Greetings. Welcome to my Wednesday reflection video. Each week on Wednesday I like to share a video and talk a little bit about where we are. And this evening I'd like to just address the writing plan, which can be challenging as it's asking you to do kind of two things simultaneous and bring those things together. And those two things include a deeper look at your selected reading and analysis and a consideration of the writing process overall. So what does the writing plan ask? The writing plan asks that you go back and consider whether the main point, the author's goal, as you defined it in your first reading, is still valid. And if so, then you should reaffirm that. It also asks about key points that the author has put within their writing that supports that that main goal. And then it also asks about the writing process and your relationship with both the author and what you're writing. And what do we mean by relationship? It's asking, how are you going to approach this? Who is your audience and what are the challenges of reaching that audience? And I know audiences kind of can be a challenging thing. I'm not the audience. I mean, certainly I am the reader, but we like to look a little broader. Well, you'll notice underneath this video there is a attachment that gives you some definitions and some ideas about audience. But know that the audience is something that you define that you might that will help you choose how to address, how to write this essay. If you are writing about the assembly line and college students, are you writing to college students or are you writing to factory workers who don't go to college? There are really two different audiences. Are you writing to someone who maybe college, who are deciding what they're going to do? If you're addressing the gender, McFadden's gender, are you going to write to people who are in favor of neutering gender in language, or are you going to write to people who are against it? Are you writing to feminists, or are you writing to, right-wing conservatives? Very different way that you would frame what you write, and that's what we're looking for in audience, and there is an attachment, as I said. Additionally, you're going to define your goals. What do you want after someone reads your essay? What do you want them to take away? So you've read the selected reading, you've thought about it, you agree or you disagree, or you think perhaps there's there's more than meets the eye, or perhaps it's almost there but it's not 100%, or perhaps the topic itself is something you want people to consider. That's your goal. Finally, we're going to talk about feedback and revision. What do you do? How do you react to feedback? How, when you receive not just my criticism, but perhaps you have a friend or loved one or spouse who reads it, or or certainly maybe some peer review, how do you take that feedback in? What goes into deciding what to keep and what to disregard? And as part of that feedback, so you've gotten feedback, what's the next stage? Well, the next stage, of course, is revision. And it talks about some different revision techniques that you can use. And there's all kinds of things. Different things work for different people. But certainly stepping away is one of the ways that seem to work very well. Because if you get too close to something, you kind of get buried and it's hard to give it perspective. When if you're this far, you're only seeing what's right in front of your eyes. But as you go back, right, the perspective changes and you begin to see a whole different view of both the topic and what you've written. So that's it in terms of the writing plan. It's looking closely at the main ideas, the key points, your approach to it, and how you're going to write, how you're going to bring all these things together. I'm sure you'll do well. I've had several students already call me, send me emails having some struggles with it, and I was able to kind of help them. So I encourage you to do the same. If you're having trouble, send me a text, email me, call me during a reasonable hour, and we'll get through it together. I'm sure you can do well. So I look forward to it, and let me know how I can help. Take care.